just to start off, it's a good get the experience that you need for med school.
I do. I think that it's one of the best places just because there's a huge medical community as far as, like great hospitals go and biotech industries and academic research labs. I think it's probably the best decision I made to go to college in my undergrad in Boston.
Mm-hmm. And you've done like a lot of research here too?
I did 6 months in an academic lab and 1 year.
I remember you saying a while ago that you did research in like a Harvard lab, and it was like it was not the best experience because
no,
you like getting paid and stuff. So can you go like into that a little bit?
Yeah, it was my first research job ever, and I was miserable. I wasn't getting paid, and no one really was guiding me whatsoever. And it was just, I had to sort of teach myself until I kind of latched on to a postdoc who felt bad for me and helped me out after a little bit. So, it was a learning experience. People aren't always going to hold your hand through things, so it kind of helped me become more of an independent learner, I guess.
Yeah. And you think it was worth it because it was like a Harvard med school lab and like...
Yeah, I do. It was a pretty upstanding lab, and I mean, from applying, probably looked better that it was through Harvard anyways.
So what do you think of, like, we have so many colleges in this area that, like, we obviously come into contact with just a lot of other people doing the same kind of thing that we're doing. So do you think it's a good thing, or do you think it's a bad thing, or just like...
I don't know. I think it could be both, because it's helpful to have people who understand what you're going through, but at the same time, it's so competitive that you always feel like you don't match up with what other people are doing. I constantly compare myself to others, which is one thing that you have to really avoid doing because you can only do as much as you can. But it also is helpful, like even when I was talking to you, because you're a friend and someone who I know went through the same. I think it could work both ways.
Yeah, that's fair. Would you want to stay here, do you think, if you got into a school around this area?
Yeah, I would stay. I would stay mainly if my friends were around, but I think that I could see myself somewhere else, and I would end up moving back here. Just I do love Boston, but I'm kind of itching to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Do you think that there's something like outside of the city that, or something that you just couldn't get here, or do you think it's pretty all-inclusive here?
I feel like it's sort of all-inclusive here because it's New York but on a smaller scale. It's like a city but a town at the same time because you don't need to have a car pretty much. You can go anywhere you really need to walking, and it's easy. You have access to like everything. We have a hospital right down the road, and I don't know. I think that I can't really think of anything that I would need outside of the city, really at all. We have grocery stores. We have pretty much everything we need.
What do you think about, like, because you've done some work in hospitals too, what do you think of the hospitals here?
I think the hospitals here are great. I think that, when I think about what I have at home, being from a smaller city, the hospital system here is just there's like 5 hospitals in a 1 mile radius. It's incredible. They have a million choices, and they have accredited physicians working there, and they think that it was right down at a hospital I volunteered at. So I think the hospital systems here are pretty awesome. From what I've heard through others and volunteering at Brigham, I think they're really great.
Anything else you'd like to add just about like being in Boston or anything else?
I don't think so. I think those are some great questions.
All right. Solid.